Hey you guys, I'm back. I'm Ashley Pickens here in Memphis, Tennessee. You guys know I've been in real estate since 2006 and I am an auctioneer here in Shelby County. Yes, I auction off foreclosures for the bank. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. What's going on in the world? This is literally the last week of September. October will be here next weekend. And so what's going on? They are talking about, and y'all keep asking me about the government shutdown, right? I'm out walking again. Okay, so let me first of all be really honest about my level of knowledge about a lot of things, right? So I know housing markets, I know real estate market, I know foreclosures, I know auctions. I know that kind. Those are the things that I am aware of, right? That's my spectrum. So when it comes to like, y'all, there's stuff I don't talk about on my channel because I don't know about it, right? Like when it comes to like the inverted yield, the bond market, all that, y'all, have you ever heard me talk about that? No, because that's not my area of expertise, right? So, but let's talk about the government shutdown. We can talk a little bit about it. I did some research because y'all keep asking me about it. What do I think about it? So I did some research. Okay, so for those of y'all who don't know, like the government is predicted to shut down on October 1st because they can't agree to some legislation. They got to pass like 12 bits of legislation or the government's going to shut down on October 1st. If the government shuts down, then a lot of federal employees and people will not get paid, right? I'm about to sit down and pray the bugs don't get me. Okay. So, did a little research for those of us that don't know, like really what a government shutdown entails, right? So, first of all, under the Anti-Deficiency Act that was passed in, get this y'all, 1884, not 1984, 1884, right? Federal agencies cannot spend or obligate any money without an appropriation or approval from Congress. So when Congress fails to enact the 12 annual appropriation bills, federal agencies must cease all non-essential functions until Congress acts. This is known as a government shutdown. Okay? Since 1884, right? Because I was wondering, I'm like, why is the government still shutting down in 2023, right? We need to have something in place. Why is like millions of people's paychecks contingent on, like, if these men and women can come up with a decision, right? Like that, like it needs to be like when you lose your lights at home, right? Most companies are going to have a generator. If it's a big enough company, they're going to have a generator to keep them lights on, right? You need something to be in place if this doesn't work out so people can still get paid. They're talking about, y'all, like 4 million military and civilian personnel will be without money. Social Security still goes out. Federal employees and military do not get checks. Air traffic controllers and law enforcement must still go to work and not get paid if the government shut down. Now, I live in Memphis. If the police don't get paid, they ain't going to work. But they said if the government shuts down, then it's in place for people to get back pay. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about this, right? They literally said that we were going to be without money October 1st. Like everybody's bank accounts, savings accounts were going to be without money basically October 1st. Now they're talking about a government shutdown October 1st where people won't get paid at the same time, right? You're going to be out of money and we're not going to be able to pay you, right? You know what it is? It goes back to what I said, you guys. The government, Congress, all that, y'all. I'm not like Republican, Democrat. I don't care about any of that. You know, I'm just saying, are so far removed from the people down here, right? Like where we can just, you know, because every day then they go home. It's like, okay, we didn't decide today. We couldn't figure it out today. We couldn't pass the spending. So we're just going to go home. We'll go play golf. You know, like, it doesn't even matter, right? And we've already announced that we see everybody's savings. Y'all don't have savings. Student loans are kicking in, y'all, October. That just dawned on me too. Student loans start back October. They said people are going to be without money, savings accounts, October 1st. And now y'all want to do a government shutdown where you don't want to pay people October 1st. Y'all, is that not insanity? Right? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Like all, so then, you know, when stuff like that starts happening, I'm like, they up to something. Like, they up to something. They want it to collapse. Like, you know, that's what you start thinking. Like, when it's so many pieces turning at the same time, going right in the fourth quarter at the end of the year, like y'all want it to be a disaster, right? But let their paycheck be contingent on whether or not they come up with a decision. Baby, I bet you they have a decision today. They will pass every spending bill, whatever the budget. They have to pass 12. Baby, if it was contingent on their paycheck, they probably pass 15 just to be safe, right? But since it doesn't directly affect them, right? It affects us down here, then, you know, it's not a big deal. We'll come back tomorrow. Or the government will just shut down. You know what I mean? The government shut down, I guess that means they don't have to go to work either. You know what I mean? But when they're looking for us to elect them and they need votes and they need donations, then it's all, we're for the people, we're here for you. Okay, well, we need y'all to make some decisions by October 1st or these people aren't going to have money and jobs and all that. Then it's, we'll get to you when we get to you, right? Y'all, it's crazy. So, you guys, I don't know what's going to happen with the government. They said that some members are trying to use that as leverage. The shutdown is leverage to cut spending, you know, to pass what they want to pass. I wrote that down. Looking to use shutdown as leverage for spending cuts. And so that means we should brace for shutdown to at least last a couple of weeks. Y'all, if we don't have money, student loans kick in, half these people ain't paid their mortgages, and now you don't want to pay them, and now we're playing like this game. We're using a shutdown as leverage. Like, you know what I mean? That lets you know, like, we don't care about y'all down there. You know, like, up here, you know, like, I don't know. But again, 1884. Y'all, we still doing things like we did back in 1884, and it is 2023. Their paychecks need to be tied to this shutdown too, right? I bet they passed something real quick if they didn't get their direct deposit, right? But that's neither here nor there. That's not how we work. That's not how America works, right? And if you think in your mind like that they would never do that they would never shut down the government, you know, we've had shutdowns before. And you can't ever, you know, America would never do that, right? I want everybody to look to the left, look to the right, and remember what country we live in, right? And I don't ever say what people won't ever do, because then they'll start nevering like they ain't nevered before, right? I mean, why do other countries want to make their own dollar? Why are they breaking away from us? Because we will love you and hate you in the same day. But that's the government shutdown, you guys. I don't know what's going to happen. Seems kind of fishy, doesn't it? Like, but I guess it just all happened to fall around the same time. Student loans, people going to be without money because they still think we got stimulus checks, and the government shutdown. Real quick, I want to talk about auctions, foreclosures, because y'all asked me questions. There was a couple of good questions that came up that I really want to share. I did probably where y'all found me, my first video on how to buy a house at the auction. I mentioned in that video, if you just want to hear about government shutdowns, you don't have to stay for this part. This is auctions and foreclosures. I mentioned in that video that I did an auction once, and when I was auctioning off the property, an electrical company showed up, right, to the auction. And it was because the property that I was auctioning off had a lien on it. Like the owner got some electrical work done by this electrical company and did not pay them. So the electrical company put a lien on their property, right? So now here we are at the auction block. I'm about to auction off their property, and the electrical company pulls up, right? And I was like, what are y'all about to do, right? So somebody commented and was like, what happened? Like, what would happen in that situation? And so what would happen is, if the house sold, right? Now, if it sold for $1 over the opening bid, then nobody would get anything. But if it's sold for, let's say, $30,000 over the opening bid, then the attorney, whoever had the property, would go down the list of liens, right, and pay people off with the overage from the auction. So of course that first lien would get paid off the mortgage, and then if the electrical company was up under that, then the electrical company would get paid, and then if there was another lien up under there, it would get paid. So that's how they would get paid. They could not tell the winning bidder that they owed them the money, right? And I think that's what people were thinking. Like, they're at the auction, whoever wins this property, they're going to hand them the bill, right? And like, hey, you got to pay us. That's not how it works. And on that particular property, it didn't even sell. Nobody was there to bid on the property. So they didn't get anything, basically. But the highest bidder would not have been responsible to pay the electrical company. Because again, foreclosure, once I say sold, that clears that title for the most part, right? So no, the highest bidder would not have been responsible. The overages, if there had been any, would have paid them, okay? So I think they were just there to see if it was going to sell and if they were going to be able to collect some money. So that's a little auction info for you. You know, the Auction Accelerator course is out. You guys, I poured everything into that course. So many people have gotten it. I'm so happy. I'm so glad y'all were, you know, got it and are going through it and are learning, because I literally teach you how to find foreclosures no matter where you live, right? And repairs and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going into over all that. Go look on the site. It's a car over there, so loud. But I hope y'all can't hear all that. But I'm on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley. This is the last week of September, you guys. Can you believe it? Last week of September. Fourth quarter's coming up. Just get everything in order, you guys. Get everything ready. The window of opportunity is about to open. Gosh, they shut down the country. Student loans. Everybody's already doesn't have money. 10 million people or more still behind on their mortgage. You guys, when it hits the fan, it's going to hit the fan, right? But that does represent opportunities for a lot of people that are in position, right, to can capitalize off of that. Like I said, I was 21 during the last housing market crash. But this is the one that I'm like, okay, this is the downturn that can set people up for generations, right? If you are prepared for the opportunities, right? Now, I'm never going to come on this channel and be like, I hear other YouTubers and they're like, it's going to be a crash. The people should lose their houses. If you don't pay your mortgage, you should get put out. Y'all, you're never going to hear me say that. Like, you're never going to hear me say that. Like, because I know life can punch you in your face, right? I know that. I've experienced that. So I will never get on here and be like, these people deserve to lose their houses. Get ready. Let's take advantage. Get ready to buy. Like, it's never going to be that. I'm going to say there are opportunities coming. You know what I mean? But never will I come on here and just, y'all, because it's like 3 million people last time lost their houses. Like, and for me, you guys, personally for me, I'm an auctioneer. Yes, I auction off people's houses. I love being an auctioneer. Do I love auctioning off people's homes because they can't pay? No, absolutely not. You know what I mean? And I tried to counteract that, you guys. I have a website, foreclosurehelptn.com. Literally, I made a website that offers resources for people behind on their mortgage. Right? Like, if I can help you keep your house, I'm going to do that, right? Now, my job is to auction off foreclosures at the courthouse. I do that, but I'm never going to come on here and celebrate people losing their house. Never, right? Because life can punch you in your face, right? And we saw it in 2020. I talk to people all the time who've lost their wives, in COVID, you know, and now they're just trying to make it and about to lose their house. I've heard people who've lost their jobs during COVID, you know what I mean? And good jobs, and they just didn't come back. And now you're trying to get a job that doesn't pay what your original job paid. And you got a wife and kids and a kid in college. Like, I see it, you know? So I'll never come on here and celebrate. Like, even when the foreclosures come, right? They're going to come. And when they do, I'm not going to be on here like, yes, let's do. I'm not. You know what I mean? I can't. And I'm going to be super busy, you know, and I'm going to get phone calls. Y'all, I used to get phone calls of people crying like every week. Every week somebody's calling me crying because they're about to lose their house, right? So that's all, you guys. That's all I got today. Instagram, I kind of left on a sad note, you guys. Today's Sunday. I'm trying to think of something positive to say. I'm on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley. I'm going to keep trying to come with videos. Y'all, I don't know about the bond, inverted yield. I don't know any of that. So, I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Last week of September, October's coming. A lot of things are coming down the pipe. We will see what happens. As always, comment, subscribe, like, and I will see you again. I'm not editing this. I'm just putting it up, you guys. I'm just putting it up. So, I will see you next time. I love you so much. Be careful and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.